We need to catch you up on one of the year's biggest stories. Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. Now, someone told Amber Heard it would be a good idea to do an interview about the trial. Here's what she shouldn't have told NBC's News' Savannah Guthrie.
I don't care what one thinks about me or what judgments you want to make about what happened in the privacy of my own home and my marriage behind closed doors. I don't presume the average person should know those things, and so I don't take it personally. But even somebody who is sure I'm deserving of all this hate and vitriol, even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair.
There's no polite way to say it. The jury looked at the evidence you presented. They listened to your testimony, and they did not believe you. They thought you were lying.
How could, I'll put it this way, how could they make a judgment? How could they not come to that conclusion? They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees and, towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't, I don't blame them. I actually understand he's a beloved character, and people feel they know him. He's a fantastic actor.
Their job is to not be dazzled by that. Their job is to look at the facts and the evidence. And they did not believe your testimony or your evidence.
Again, how could they, after listening to 3.5 weeks of testimony about how I was a non-credible person, not to believe a word that came out of my mouth?
You love a publicist that doubles down, right? They were like, it didn't work out so well, so we need to double down and sit you. It is fresh off the presses. You cannot sit down yet.
Why would she do this, Morgan? Why?
You guys, first of all, you don't need to keep me up because my husband has been obsessed with this trial, like literally in the bathroom on the phone watching every single second. I will say, this was not her best moment in terms of the whole trial, but there are, and I know this and feel this, there are always two sides. No matter how much one side is presented and no matter how much somebody believes somebody, there are always two sides.
I 100% agree with that. But I will say, there's two sides, and there's also a right time and a right place.
Oh, no, that was ludicrous. She sat down and did that interview.
It was too early. And by the way, hold on. You sat with the wrong one, honey.
No.
You should have sat with Hoda, because Hoda would have gave you a little space
She would have smiled in between.
She would have smiled in between.
Right.
Savannah's a lawyer. She's hard-hitting news.
Right.
She's going to ask all the questions. I go back to the moment that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt had that big breakup, and it all came out that something happened on that private jet.
I love that my phone's making noise on my first day back. I'm here. Okay.
She had this moment where she was the private jet moment. Brad Pitt did not come out right away and talk about that private jet moment.
But that also was hearsay, and there were rumblings about that. And then there was a report later. Johnny and Amber she went and didn't write that op-ed about him, and then now this became a whole trial.
Yes.
So people were allowed to choose sides.
Oh, for sure.
You want to talk about he is a great actor, but you're not a great actress.
I know.
Because this interview alone shows, it's like, you know what? Sometimes you got to take that L. That's what we say in the
God,
streets.
I have it written down right here. Take the L. Take the L.
Take the L,
Yeah,
girl.
Take the L.
What would you do if you were her at this moment? You lost this big case.
I would put my head down. I would really, because I truly believe that she thinks like there are two sides. She experienced some things that maybe were not favorable for her and her memories, and I think they were both effing nuts during their relationship. I'm just going to say that. I really do.
She's trying to win the
public opinion. But the thing is, it is so swayed, and the point is right now, let people forget.
Yep.
Let people move on. Let people not worry about this. It's not being aired every single day.
Right.
Put your head down. Forget about it. When Chrissy Teigen had those tweets, she put her head down, and now she's America's sweetheart again. Forget it.
Just forget it.
Just don't put yourself out there so quickly. Like, no one wants to hear from you, and they're even more turned off now that you've done this.
Oh, 100%. And what I would have done is I would have sat my ass at home for 6 months. I would have got a few things injected, came back,
By the way, a thread.
did a black and white with what's her name from Vanity Fair,
Correct.
talking about in a black
Annie
turtleneck.
Annie Leibovitz comes
talking
to the
about
house.
yes, comes to the house
Yep.
with the baby in the
Yep.
background with the dog, talking about the roughest moment of my life, and I'm ready to re-enter Hollywood.
I'm ready to reinvent myself, and that's the thing. You bring the kid in, it all works. It's PR 101.
But this is the
Why?
problem when you have a big celebrity. When they say they want to do something, you got to have the nuts to say, this is not right for you. You pay me $7,000 a month plus tax to be your publicist.
tax.
Plus tax. To be your publicist. Listen to me. This is my job. I've seen this happen time and time again. Celebrities just can't take the L.
But then go to somebody that's been watching your trial. Don't you have friends? Your friends could at least say, girl, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? Or listen
Yeah.
to us. You could have listened.
You could have called us.
She should have come on this show, and we would have said, tell us your plans, and we would have said, it's not the time.
It's not the time.
It's not the time.
It's not the time.
It's not the time yet.
The other problem is she kept on talking about how on social media it was all in his favor and she
Right.
didn't get treated fairly. If you go back to 2019 and 2020, I hate to say this, but on social media, it was the year of the victim.
Yes.
Everybody was jumping on people's bandwagons. They were supporting wholeheartedly. We didn't care what was going on. But it's 2022 now. Things have kind of sort of changed, and she was probably expecting everyone to be like, you're a victim, let's ride out,
Right, which I just think there were blatant holes in the stories. And I mean, her testimony alone, I know we're moving on, Rebecca, but her testimony alone at times was like, oh.
Yeah, see, you weren't here to give us this
girl.
commentary.
It was a little,
That's why we're letting
now
you.
I'm hot.
Yes.
I need to talk
Yes.
about it, yeah.
Well, you guys, the rest of Amber's interview, it was so juicy. It's going to air tomorrow and Wednesday on NBC's Today, and then you're going to get the full one on Friday at 8 p.m. on Dateline NBC, okay? Yes. No, they're giving you all of it. One more Daily Pop. Rebel Wilson fights back after her relationship was almost outed. Check out this video here and tell us what you think about Amber Heard's new interview in the comments below. Plus, hit that subscribe button so you never miss the latest in news.